nerds, and welcome to North Sports Dynasty. I am
welcome
fifth of your hosts, Andrew Barrett. Joined with me, it would make 2/5 of the hosts here at NSD.
1-2,
which is currently what I think the score currently is of the Toronto game. This is 2-1, 1-2.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's Kyle Yacy, the Atlanta Falcon fan, the inevitable, the incomplete, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the man who also is, like I said, a fan of the Falcons, but also the analyst of the Falcons for NSD, the new home to the #1 Dynasty player in all of fantasy right now, Mr. Bijan.
Right.
Welcome to the show tonight. Thank you for being on, brother. How we doing?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. Was a little bit peeing my pants here, thinking my cable was gonna stop working before the Oilers game, but we're smooth sailing now. We're smooth sailing. You know, it's a good day to be an Oilers fan. It's an interesting time to be a Falcons fan. That's all I really can say right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. Also, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into anything else, just to let you know, we gotta pay the bills here. We are a sponsored show, ladies and gentlemen. ZAGNIF motherfucking apparel. I do not know stuff. Actually, Kyle's is around here, so I don't even know where the box is. Actually, it's over. Never mind. ZAGNIF apparel, ladies and gentlemen. Clothing like you wouldn't believe. Shoes, shirts, jackets. Ladies wear everything you could ask for. The best fit for you. I have worn actually the rain jacket the last couple of days because it's been a little crazy here in Fort Saskatchewan and just Alberta in general. And it worked out. It was very nice. It was comfy. It was warm. It fit perfectly. So ZAGNIF apparel, ladies and gentlemen, that is where you
Link is in the footer. Right, code is Foobz15. Give her a shout. Give her a like. You know, definitely check him out. He's got all the clothing, all the nice clothing. Rockin' Oklahoma. He is an absolute stud. So give him a check out.
You can also find the link on all the other shows, NSD, including Off the Boards, Terribly Toxic, Restoring the Roar, and Maple Box Show, which I really should get back on to doing, which I will be doing.
I feel that.
Tomorrow. So, not only that, ladies and gentlemen, obviously, we are live here on all the different platforms, as you can see. But we are definitely, indubitably, 100% live from NSD headquarters, which is always in my basement. as you can see. Whiteboard is clean. We did the draft special. It was all fucking done and this, that, and everything else. 3.5 hours of content. Holy crap. I almost lost my voice.
Unreal night. Lots of trades.
That was a lot of trades, a lot of madness that was going on. Terribly Toxic did really, really good too. NSD Page had a lot of traffic. So shout out to everybody who was out there. Shout out to all the people who've been watching all the shows here at NSD. Shout out to all of our fans in the comment section. Shout out to all the people watching tonight. Before we get started into what we got going on here tonight, I'll give you a shout out or give you an idea of what we got going on. We're going to be talking the NHL playoffs and the draft, lottery, Oilers versus Knights madness, the Leafs delaying the inevitable. I don't know how long that's going to be anymore. And Bedard is going to Chicago.
What team?
Chicago. So we're going to actually talk to a Blackhawks fan. You also know him in a little bit here. We're going to skim on through the NBA playoffs with talk about the Suns. Suns out, guns out. LeBron showing why he's the second best player of all time. I know some people are probably going to start popping on and be like, the fuck did you just say? And Boston versus Philly game 7. We'll talk about the schedule drop, key games to watch, early NSD team record predictions, which is the only thing that I did not do today was to tell everybody to give me what their team's records were going to be and everybody else's team record predictions. And stuff like that. But that's okay.
I can ballpark that actually without looking.
I mean, same. I see you. Another guy just popped in, and we'll get him up here in a second. And also, Dynasty Corner. I'll give rankings for some of these rookies. The rookie draft that is coming up tomorrow for the NSD League. The other league had to take a pause because if anybody would like to be part of a Dynasty, please let us know. We have a spot open. We have a team ready for you. It's a little bit more cowboy-based, but that doesn't mean that you can't trade all the players away if you don't want them. I'll take CD Lamb any day. But also, the players are hurt from the draft. So before we get into everything, let's bring on one of the other hosts that we got here. Terribly Toxic, very on Christopher Warchuk. I'm assuming this is Chris, right?
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Absolute stud.
Sorry, I got no cam right now. I'm just driving, so
That's okay, bro.
so it's just audio. Trying to figure out how to make the audio work on my truck.
Oh, buddy,
You sound clear, bro. You're sounding good.
I did. I mean, the last time I hopped in from my truck, I had the audio like through my truck's Bluetooth, and now it's not working. But that's fine. We can just rock her on speakerphone.
Well,
yeah,
funny. If we were playing Jeopardy right now, you would probably win, I would assume. So,
oh, absolutely.
No. Wait, let me rephrase. That's a bad joke. That is a horrible joke.
Listen, he's never wrong. Don't you know? No. Chris is never wrong.
Don't you guys that you know who you're talking to? I'm literally undefeated, undisputed at NSD Jeopardy. I don't even know what the fuck you're going on about.
It's true. I was like, who won that one again? And I should have known that because I literally just made a compilation video today. Which, by the way, do you guys like it?
I didn't even watch it yet.
Oh,
it's solid.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance.
That's okay, dude. I think you were gonna like it because I'm gonna pop it up here in a bit.
Do you have me being like, what the fuck when you said it was the St. Louis Cardinals?
No, I got a couple of other clicks. I had to condense a bunch of funny moments and stuff like that, but I did get a couple of good ones. You'll see. Sean Spencer just said in the comment section, great compilation video. I appreciate that, dude. Even the comment on YouTube, you commented, and then all of a sudden,
let's go, dude.
What's up?
I got my.
What happened? Oh, Chris, are you there?
He'll come back. He'll come back. That's all right.
That was
like pure. Hey, we're good. Hello. Hey, let's go. I'm good. I'm the best. I'm so good at everything. It's not even funny.
What happened? What can you elaborate just a fucking little bit? Like just a tiny bit.
I mean, I don't know where. Like, do we have time for me to elaborate why I'm the best at everything? This could be like we could be here for a bit.
Yourself or what? Just jump off the path all by yourself?
First of all, I get dressed by myself in the morning every single day. First of all, 2 socks at a time. Unlike most people, they put on their sock 1 sock at a time.
Okay, AJ Hawk, your left foot, like the fuck?
I would never, AJ. I would never. Listen, can we hold on? Speaking of AJ Hawk, can we just give listen? AJ Hawk's done a great job hosting that show this entire while Pat's been gone. Like he has done. I was like watching today, and I was like, this. Like he ain't doing bad. Like he's doing good actually. Like he's almost better than Pat. Like, he doesn't have Pat's personality, but as like a host of a podcast, like he's got it figured out.
He does. So quickly,
I think the first one was a little rough. But...
Oh yeah. Before we actually get into any of the news, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring our guest on, since he's been in the back politely this whole entire time.
Oh, during the nurse fight.
Now it's going to get a little interesting because we are starting the NSD show tonight talking hockey. This is why this is good because I got Chris here too. I love Chris's energy when he talks about the Oilers. But we are going to bring on my other co-host, which I'm going to say off the boards, and I'm trying to blank on it again, and he's laughing because he knows I do this every single time. I'll bring him on. Matt Bannon. What's our hockey show called again?
A one-timer hockey show, of course.
Oh my God. So many fucking hockey shows, and I keep forgetting the one that we do. Matt Bannon, the one-timer hockey show from 1252 Chicago Sports. I believe he's also a Bears fan. I cannot confirm nor deny that.
Unfortunately, yes, you are right. I am a Bears fan. Looking a little better, though. So
I'm not going to lie. I saw that we played you week 2, and I'm like, oh, cool. We're going to start the season 0-2. Lovely. I love rebuilds. This is great.
Here's going.
And then, of course, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he is a Cubs fan. That's right.
Also, unfortunately, yes. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, but guess what? You got.
Hey, listen. To be on this program, you got to cheer for a shitty team.
Yeah, we're fucking all in the same boat right here, actually, for once. I'm pretty sure.
To be on this program, you got to cheer for a dog shit fucking team.
That just means we're serious about it, right? So.
Well, and it's funny because if we point out everyone's like shitty team, we could point out all of our teams like regardless, say football, and then Sid would come in here and be like, I don't cheer for no shitty team, and be like, shut up, you're an honorary Arizona Coyote fan, all right?
The day that fucking Pittsburgh does fucking shitty, the day I will fucking lay into them every fucking day.
So Twitter is like 50-50 right now on Kenny Pickett. There's lots of people that are like Sid and believe in Kenny Pickett. There's lots that fucking do not. And I'm just like, man, this guy doesn't like. If it's like week 4 and he's been playing like shit, Sid's gonna get destroyed by everybody in the world because he's such a cocksucker. He's gonna get I mean, I think Kenny Pickett's a good quarterback. I don't think he's gonna do badly, but I'm just like, man, if that half of Twitter that doesn't think he's good is right. Oh boy, Sid's gonna get lit the fuck up by everything. And I'm not even gonna say a thing because everybody else is gonna do it for me. I'm just gonna sit back and laugh.
Well, I mean, yeah, you won't, but then all of a sudden, like our group chat for the show will get quiet for 2 days, and then you'll pop in on a Wednesday and be like, "Hey, Sid, how's Kenny?"
When is it ever quiet with me and Chris in it? Like when is it ever fucking quiet?
This is also true. Going into this though, like talk a little bit about hockey. Bringing up the Blackhawks first off. The Blackhawks,
yes,
who had the 3rd overall odds to win the Bedard sweepstakes, was looking more like the Leo Carlson and possibly Michkov sweepstakes or Wood that everybody seems to be in love with, which I looked at his tape and I'm like, I'm like, cool. Like, you want a B-rated Patrick Kane? Like, the guy doesn't even look like he can take a hit that well. I just don't know. But either here or there, Connor Bedard is coming to your city.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about anybody else or even like future, I guess, rebuilding plans because now it's pretty set, huh? We have like the biggest cornerstone one could ask for since we got Kane with the last first overall pick all those years ago. History works in cycles, and right now we're in the good spot of it. At least I am. I don't know about
Shut
you guys.
The fuck up. That was the most rigged fucking draft lottery I've ever seen in my entire... Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
History. Get the fuck out of here with history.
See, when you're sitting at the top, everybody just has to aim at you, you know? It's hard being on top of the world sometimes.
Bro, trust me, I was there 4 times. I know it. We didn't get it rigged, though.
Oh, so you just... blew it in the end.
We were just terrible.
Listen,
we were just fucking horrible.
Me and Matt have actually talked about this on our show. I think it was like our second or third show. We joked about the Yakupov draft, and we're like, "Who the fuck else is Edmonton supposed to actually?
Who are they supposed to take?" Which is really unfortunate.
Matt Dumba. Matt Dumba.
Yes, but I mean,
yes, absolutely yes. Matt Dumba would still be on the Oilers today. I don't know if he'd be as good as like everybody thought he was going to be. He would still be on the Oilers today, and he'd be a solid player. He'd be a solid defense.
Ekholm on the first line, left side, Dumba on the second line at this age, right side. Like, yes, I see exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, like that's what I'm talking about.
Hockey doesn't do the reach thing though, like they should.
Mm-hmm.
Like that draft, it definitely should have been like, maybe we should take Ryan Murray. Maybe we should take fucking him.
They talked about taking Dumba, but then there was Daryl Cates. Like I read this somewhere. They talked about taking Dumba. Daryl Cates stepped in and said, "You're taking Yakupov because Yakupov will sell jerseys."
And okay, so that does actually make a little bit more sense. And we've talked about the Oilers before there too, where the conspiracy
the Oilers scouts did not like Yakupov. None of the Oilers scouts like Yakupov.
Oh no!
Then like it's still he can barely skate. He panics when he has the puck. He can't. He doesn't play defense.
Yeah.
Like the Oilers scouts did not like Yakupov. He can score goals. Like the guy had a wicked shot. But that's about all he had.
Sounds like a damn move, says Sean.
But Daryl Cates stepped in and was like, we're taking Yakupov, end of conversation. And I guess I never read it because he sells jerseys, but you have to assume that's why Cates said we're taking Yakupov.
1,000%, because nobody else would have sold.
Dumba's not a headline breaking name. That's not selling any jerseys.
Nope.
That's just, but it's the right pick.
Well, and not only that, but like, where is Yakupov now? Like, how many seasons was he actually in the NHL?
Been gone, dude, been gone. No, he was at the Oilers for like 4 years, man.
Was it actually that long?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was in Colorado for like 2 more years, and finally fizzled out after that.
Yeah,
he was in the league for almost 10 years. It might have been even 10 years.
Yeah, he was done in 2018 was his last season with Colorado, and then done after that.
Well, Matt, I was going to ask, so like, I know Chris can obviously name it off the top of his head right now who the top picks in the last like 5 or 6 years for the Oilers have been. So what has been like the Chicago Blackhawks like top picks in like the last 5 years?
Good question.
Man, I would know more if we kept him around longer than 2 years without him away. But I know we have.
They like trading people.
Yeah, we like especially with like defensemen. We like to draft them like relatively higher than you normally would expect them to go, and then do nothing with them for 4 years, and then send them down to like Arizona or Colorado.
And didn't you, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you trade your first last year?
We did, actually.
I'm looking at
we traded back for
Korchinski.
And then yes.
Yeah, you got Korchinski at 7,
That's
and then Nazar at 30,
and then Nazar
and then Rinzel at 25.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, of course, like a couple other good, like not too bad dudes there.
What were they? They were doing super well in NCAA, I think, and then most of them were represented in at least one tournament this year. So, and then that whatever the hell they did in the juniors, did USA get 3rd or 4th? I don't quite recall. I didn't actually watch that one, but
I just can't believe the unbelievable coincidence of the same year. We're like, we're trading Kane. We're not re-signing Taves. Oh, we got Connor Bedard. Oh,
I just
stumbled onto that
already. I've already my co-host. I've already touched base with. I gave him the pre-warning that this was coming.
Yeah, we got Kane and Taves in one super young package all at once. So couldn't be more happy. And the best part of the story is that I actually, for the first time ever, got season tickets for the Blackhawks like 4 months ago.
How much? How much did it take?
Lucky
2 seats, 300 level. The first row in like 305 or something. So on like the defensive corner, and they were like $2,000 for 2 seats.
How much would that be now, though?
8K. It's
my
price.
God.
So
if anything, I killed it with an investment this year.
Yeah,
so I'm already happy with the season.
Yeah.
Sid spent $2,500 on 4 tickets to 1 Cardinals game.
Ooh.
That's how cheap those seats are. Just to throw that out there for you.
Okay, wait, hold on. Holy crap! You guys are going all out for that Cardinals Dallas game, aren't you?
Dude, we're row 33. No, sorry, 5 tickets. Sorry, 5 seats in the lower bowl, row 33.
Yeah.
Where Sid was charged like $2,500 or almost $2,600 for 5 seats.
So $500 per ticket.
Yeah, 500 each
for you guys, right?
Yeah.
That's not
he He got season seats for the Blackhawks for less.
Well, yeah,
I
I mean, yeah,
paid.
but that was before Bedard got there too.
Yeah,
now.
before they got it,
there's
yeah.
no way.
I'm just putting in perspective
Oh, yeah.
how
That is
ridiculously
wild.
No,
cheap
you're
that
right.
is.
Yep.
I went.
Like
I went to the Bucks
it was
game
just
at
a
Raymond
perspective
James.
thing. We bought 5 tickets to one game with $2,500 US. For $2,500 US, you just bought season seats with Blackhawks.
Sean Spencer says enjoy those, aka
Oh,
like
I-
your season.
Yeah,
ticket.
man.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
Foobz, I went.
go ahead, Kyle.
If you're ever in,
I was
if you're
gonna say-
ever in Chicago, I've got tickets.
I
So.
know,
That's nice,
right?
man. I might
I
take
mean-
you up on that.
Next year, they're going to be $12,000, but enjoy them this year.
Yeah, no, I just like enjoyed my one little window to get in there and have a taste of it. So
Raymond James Stadium. I went there, 3 tickets, like upper. I'm talking like the 200, like row, like something stupid, like 70 or whatever.
yeah,
Like 1,200 American for 3 seats to go see Tom Brady play.
I was gonna say yeah, and Brady was
Yeah,
there. Now
that's
it's
it
funny
right there.
because Alex
Yeah.
Schomber, I think, just got season tickets for the Bucks at like $1,200 now for the
Yeah,
season
man.
tickets. So
yeah.
Falcons tickets at Mercedes Benz for like lower bowl, fucking like not bad seats at all. I think I paid like 400 American for 3 seats.
Crazy.
That's the
Crazy.
difference.
The Cardinals are terrible, and Kyler's probably missing time, and they raised ticket prices.
yep.
That's
Ash,
insane, man.
thank you for
I
tuning
love
in.
it.
Says, oh, look at Chris sticking to hockey, which is what he should have done instead of trying to follow basketball and ruin my team.
Listen, I said it was my fault if we went to the finals and lost. We didn't go to the finals, so it's not my fault. Listen,
Listen, if anything, Ash, as an outsider, as you know, one of the co-hosts with him, I'm just happy that he dipped his feet into basketball. He picked the team, whether like
but just
I
to
don't
get
like the
immediately
Rams,
pissed off at the world, yeah, fuck, it's great, awesome.
well, yeah, but then like now,
30
like, Chris is-
30-point lead at halftime. I was like, yeah, this is dumb. I hate basketball. This is stupid.
like this anymore. Chris is also like starting to dip his toes into the college football, so and I think he's coming
I
down
got-
to what's that?
I gotta fucking figure my team out here soon.
Yeah.
I want to figure it out before the year starts.
I have
Ash
like
also
3,
says-
Chris. I haven't really affiliated with. I'm between like the Bulldogs, the Florida Gators, and I do kind of like Ohio State.
Gators.
Cool.
I'm a Monocacy.
See, I can't-
And I love it.
I can't cheer for Ohio State. I got too many friends that are Michigan fans that I actually enjoy as human beings, and I really don't want them hating me.
yeah.
so-
see, yeah.
I can't cheer for Ohio State as much as like I
As he
kind of would
puts his
love to.
Notre Dame hat on there. I see you, Matt.
Yeah, there you go. There's a team for you if you ever want.
I mean,
Disappointment.
long time ago, like when I was in high school, I liked the Oregon Ducks just 'cause I liked the jerseys. I liked the wings and the shoulders and shit.
And it is funny that in the chat, I am almost positive when Chris was talking about some of the teams he would pick, he was one of the ones that he brought up was Notre Dame. He's like, I don't mind that one either.
I got Notre Dame. I got nothing bad to
I
say about
never, I'm not. I mean, no, I never once brought up Notre Dame. Sorry.
I thought you said Notre Dame.
Clemson was the one I was kind of like about.
Clemson. My bad. I thought it was Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Ash
Yeah, no,
also
no,
said
Clemson. I was kind of like meh, and then I was like Ohio or Oregon, and then I was like Longhorns. Longhorns is one I was like I'm really considering, just because I really feel like I fit in with like a Longhorns fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, you would actually.
Ash,
Fuck
Ash
you would.
said Chris would do every show like this, best of you. So Ash is out here chirping you tonight, Chris. Scott says prizes. Thank you for tuning in. Aiton is your fault. Somehow, some way it is, says Ash. Sean Spencer says, I wanted Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer dropped, and even I was like, hey, if somebody wants to pick him up. I'm
Yeah, you dropped quite a bit.
I know Matt is hyped about Sam Hartman. Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's right. Sam Hartman is down there in Notre Dame.
Yep.
You lucky. You guys get all the nice quarterbacks.
So just an update right now. The Maple Leafs are absolutely playing for their lives right now at this very moment.
What's the score?
Still 2-1 for Florida.
And
Fuck, my phone screen keeps locking and cutting me out.
Well, that's
Yeah.
okay.
I was gonna say Sean's watching. I was like, Sean, are you ready to take an L from Colt McCoy week 1? That's gonna be hilarious.
Buddy, I'm gonna get
Colt
Kirk
McCoy's
Cousins.
just gonna slice and dice that fucking Washington Commanders defense. It's gonna be hilarious.
I'm gonna have Kirk Cousins going up to the Bucks again, but in a Vikings jersey. and being
We
like,
actually
"Yeah,
addressed the
you like
O-line,
that."
so the old fucker. We addressed the O-line, so the old fucker will have like 10 minutes to throw the ball, hopefully, instead of like 10 seconds.
Is there a possibility? Is there a possibility that Desmond Ridder is not trash and he blows out and potentially is a top 10 quarterback. Not like obviously just for the season.
Top 10. Jesus Christ.
Is there a possibility?
Listen to this guy. Top 10. Top 10. Oh my goodness. Jeez. There's a possibility that he's ever so slightly above average, which makes him like top 16.
That's kind of what
top 10. You got to be. He's that boy's never cracking top 10.
Well, now here's the thing. We got Mr. Irrelevant of 2 years ago is going to be like the starting franchise quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers with that offense that they have.
True.
So we never totally 100%.
Man, he might not even play this year.
I think that's the reason why the 49ers are like, he's our franchise guy. We're like, listen, take the fucking all the time you need. Sit there, pretty boy Brock Purdy. We'll fucking deal with Trey and Sam Darnold for a year, and then you come and go right ahead.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be hilarious when they like get rid of Trey, and they have like Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy, and then they like all of a sudden suck, and it's like maybe Brock Purdy was just like a product of a good system, and like he's actually not a good quarterback.
It's almost as if
I honestly don't think Brock Purdy's that great, but I also don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that great. I think the 49ers are very well coached team. Like end of the day, I actually don't know. I think Desmond Ridder could stand in that offense and have a great fucking time.
I also
I think they just need they just need 2 legs and a heartbeat back there with the ball. That offense can just run, like anybody could run that. I could go out there and run that offense. It'd be a little slower, but I could run that offense. That Kyle Shanahan's offense is designed where anybody can step in and play at any fucking time at quarterback. It doesn't rely on the quarterback being the focal point.
Chris, for you actually, Sean Spencer said, check out some of the lesser teams, more excitement. This is also the reason why I was like, you should just be Arizona State. Keep all your fucking teams in Arizona except for his hockey team. Because he hates the Coyotes just as much as fucking my fiance does too. Kim hates.
Yeah, but then I'm on the same side as Sid with 2 teams, and that's just like that feels icky.
Icky.
That's like the same reason why I don't cheer for 2 the same reason why I didn't pick the Raptors. I couldn't cheer for 2 Toronto-based sports teams. Now I don't think I could cheer for 2 teams with Sid.
You can kind of do what I do respectively. And I'm like, listen, I'm not a Raptors fan and I'm not a Blue Jays fan. I just respect the fact that like if they go to the finals kind of thing, I'm going to cheer for them because that's a Canadian team in that league going to the finals. And
yeah,
I am a Blue Jays fan. So
I'm Cardinals, but yeah. So
yeah. I am a Blue Jays fan. The Raptors, the Raptors winning the championship is the reason I wanted to get into basketball in the first place.
Yep.
So, I mean, props for that. And it's cool that they won.
Canadians did too.
To say that I would cheer for them now, like actually being a basketball fan, I don't know if that's just that might not be true. I would be happy if they won. Like it's not like the Leafs where I just hope they never win anything as long as that franchise exists.
Sean also says he wouldn't mind. He loves cold. With regards also to what you said about the Maple Leafs, as a person who was born in Ontario, I always hope and pray to God and every sport god out there that the Maple Leafs just live in this just as much as he does for the St. Louis Blues and just as much as you guys do for the Calgary Flames.
I really thought they were gonna get swept by the Panthers, and I was just like, man, these guys are so committed to just winning 4 hockey games. Like, you guys had a game plan. We're going in, we're getting out of the first round, and we're done. Like, that's it. We're just winning 4 hockey games. That's the only goal this year is to win 4 hockey, and they were committed to it.
They got tee times that have been set since last fucking May.
Chippy, I gotta send you that Coach Chippy video, or did I send it in the chat where he's like, "We're not on a golf trip," and he's like, "No, we have a game. Like this is a real game." He's like, "I thought it was exhibition." They're like, "Poppy, did you know this wasn't a golf trip?" He's like, "It's not a golf trip." He's like, "I just got my 56-degree wedge cleaned." He's like, "This isn't a golf trip."
Full circle, first of all, because I want to get your guys' opinions on something. So the whole situation on Alex Pietrangelo and Darnell Nurse. So
Pietrangelo should have got 2 games. Nurse shouldn't have gotten a fucking thing.
Okay, so that's where. So for me, This is okay. So this is how I'm trying to view it from a non-biased perspective. So I do agree with Chris to a certain extent. Like Alex Pietrangelo, you can see the intent there. Like literally over the head, fucking going for Draisaitl's arm. What absolutely just a vicious slap or slash. Sorry. So you see Darnell Nurse though, and like I had to watch it after the fact. You see him get off the bench. You see him go like literally half ice for this guy, right? So like the thing is like, do I think Darnell Nurse should have got suspended? I'm gonna be honest, I do. I know it's pretty fucked up. I do think Alex Pietrangelo should have got a minimum of 2 games, though.
Agreed. But
the thing is I also think at the same time, in my opinion, even being an Oilers fan, that it is such a fucking dumb move on Darnell Nurse's fucking part, because knowing that, you know, especially knowing the rule books, as most of these hockey players do know the rule books, right? You know you're fucking getting a suspension, man. Like that, literally, that play right there potentially, right? That could have been like the deciding factor, and I'm hoping it's not, on this next upcoming game. Like, you literally let your fucking team down. All respect for sticking up for your team, though. All the fucking respect, for sure. But you gotta fucking be smarter than that, especially in situations like where you actually might get a little bit of a one-up. Like, I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it personally, but
okay. What about you, Matt? I'm assuming you think the same.
Yeah, actually, that was pretty much what I was thinking. I think that was kind of dumb of Nurse to do it then. I mean, why not just bring that to the next game? Is, I guess, obviously not being in that situation, I can say, oh, just put your anger aside and like put that, bide your time, bring it to the next one, and then give it to him. I think that was dumb. He should have been punished for it, and he did. I agree with the Pietrangelo. I think he should have gotten more than 1. Although here I'm a little biased too, because I still fucking hate him from when he was on the Blues, and he was still a piece of shit. So some habits die hard, apparently. I don't know why they announced Nurse's suspension first over Pietrangelo's. I think that should have been like knee-jerk reaction. They should have just been like, yeah, he's definitely out for at least 1 game. Like, we'll inform everybody of the details of it later, but they didn't. They did that with Nurse and then sat on their hands for Pietrangelo. That seems strange to me. I don't quite get that.
It could have been the fact that they maybe were debating too. So like
that's
maybe
true.
It was a longer hearing that they were like maybe like, because I also agree. If this was someone made that tweet not that long ago. If this was 2005 or 2007 hockey, where like I think it was Brendan Shanahan would just throw like 10-game suspensions for looking at a dude or looking at
even Todd Bertuzzi, even for that fucking matter.
Yeah, the same thing.
Like it's the intent. It's 110% the intent.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to injure, if you're going to hurt a player, if you're going to tire them out in hockey, you still need to do it within the confines of the rule. I 110% will always agree with that. And that's why I'm like, what he did, he blatantly like lifted his stick and went to go fucking smack, not Klim Kostin, not fucking, you know, like William Fogel, Ryan Fogel.
Yeah. Warren Fogel.
Warren Fogel. He didn't do that to any of those guys. He went and did it to the dude who's got 13 fucking goals in the playoffs. That's where I'm like, that right there is the literal definition for intent, and that should have been 3 to 4 games. That should have been gone for the series.
To tie into what you're saying too, honestly, like you look at the NHL Players Safety Association, though, right? It's been a fucking joke for a while, right? Like the thing is to even be comparative, like that you're actually going to punish a Nurse and Pietrangelo with the same punishment minus the fine, it's fucking absolute bullshit. And like, not even to get me started on like, again, this is also biased. No hate in that or anything to like, you know, America or anything, but like fucking they shit on Canadian teams. They shit on Canadian teams, man. They do.
I've noticed
they
that.
have been. And like, and it's hard to say that, you know, like that man, like, does he just literally want Canada to win a team, like win a cup? Is that all it is? Like, it's a running joke, sure, right?
But what are you talking about? I let a lot of Canadians on these teams, which me and Matt have also joked about many times. Bettman's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I see Canadians win the cup all the time. Pretty sure every team has 23 to 24 fucking Canadians on there.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, just as long as they don't, you know, win it for a team that's north of the border, and then they're good. They can play. It definitely is getting more abrasive, I would say.
We've
For
also
sure.
joked on our show that it's actually Oilers' faults that the couple never come back to Canada is because it was stolen or it disappeared with the
Yes.
Oilers, like with a Canadian team kind of thing. And like, there's rumors that it was found in like fucking Nunavut at points and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, nope, it's staying in America kind of thing.
Is that actually what happened or what?
I think the Nunavut one personally is true because I saw the thread on Twitter one time and the guy had like some credible sources in there and I'm like, I'm just gonna choose to believe this because I just think the Stanley Cup being in fucking Iqaluit, Nunavut or Northwest Territories or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Because it
That's
disappeared
cool.
on like a
See,
fishing trip or something up there, and then
Okay.
like they're like, oh, we thought you had it. I don't know. Yeah.
hey, Chris, give me your 2 cents on this, man. I know you have a lot to say about this topic.
So I missed most of the topic.
Okay.
My phone was being dumb when I was getting on
Nurse
the
and
truck. so I was like,
Petrangelo, just go at it.
Petrangelo should have got fucking. I think he should have got 2. I don't know about 3. Yeah, sure.
The
2.
intent. I just
should have been more. Should have been more than 1.
Yep.
And the 1 is automatic.
Yep.
So
Yes,
he
it is.
didn't get it. He didn't get suspended for the act. He got the automatic for the game misconduct.
Yep. And that's the thing.
Nurse shouldn't have gotten a fucking thing. I don't give a fuck. He shouldn't.
Well,
have gotten
here's the thing. I'm just going back to some of like the older school say rules, I guess, is if Nurse is getting a game for literally coming off the bench and going straight to a dude, and that dude that he fought is literally just a one-on-one fight. Like he didn't go fuck up a dude and then fight somebody. That's a game suspension. You want to go find the coach? Sure. But what Petrangelo did was literally lift a fucking stick at the dude who scored 13 fucking goals and whacked at him. That's intent, and they know exactly what you're doing. Get him the fuck out of there for the series. Because Florida, like to Chuck, he fucking pisses everybody off. He fucking hits everybody. He does all this stuff.
But I mean,
after the
George
whistle.
Peros got to go. Jordan Eberle broke Cogliano's neck
Yeah, that was
and
fucked.
didn't get suspended.
Well,
That
and
was fucked.
it is like I'm
It's
not,
almost like the NHL would like for the Kraken and the fucking
Golden
and
Knights,
the
yeah.
Golden Knights to be in the Stanley Cup final together while Chicago gets a first round pick or first overall pick. Yeah, it's fucking jeez. But listen, I'm not. I like
No,
mark
he's
my
switched it
words.
from the Coyotes to
No.
Chicago.
Well, either way, I did say Chicago.
Yeah.
Or I did say, but even still, Chicago makes equally amount of sense. Either way, if there is a Kraken Golden Knights Stanley Cup final, I am not watching hockey until Gary Bettman is out of commissioner.
That's only West,
Western
though.
Conference.
Oh,
Yes.
oh no, it could be actually,
No.
right?
No, it'd be
It
Western
actually could be a
Conference.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah, either way. No,
No, it'd be
okay,
Western
sorry.
Conference.
No.
Okay,
it'd be
that's what I
conference.
thought.
Either
Yeah,
way.
but no, either way. No, I know.
If one of
exactly
those
what you're
ten,
saying.
let me rephrase that because I thought it was gonna be, I got me fucked up here.
You're good, bro.
If one of those teams wins the Stanley Cup this year, I'm not watching hockey anymore.
There you go.
Wow.
Also, Thomas Gage says go Hawks.
I'm done.
Fair enough. Also,
There you
here's
go.
the other thing. With that hit, I agree that like I really should have been gone for the series as well because like
Yeah.
I'm not a diehard Kraken fan as the new team that's in there, and I fucking love this hat. Like Kim is
Good
like,
hat.
you
I
gotta
like their
stop wearing
colors
the hat.
actually.
Well,
I like
Kim
their
is like,
colors.
you gotta stop wearing it because the kids steal it and it gets like destroyed all the time. And I'm like, but it goes with everything. I just love this. Anyway, the fact that the Makar hit first on McCann or whoever the fuck it was there, that one they were like, what the fuck? But then when you go and do like Eberle does something like that, like the game or two after, that again, it's intent.
Yeah.
It is intent. So that's where I agree with everybody. And then I kind of spank on a little bit more where I'm like, fuck you guys. It's the intent. Do what the Bruins have done and Brad Marchand. Go until it's literally at the peak of when the ref is going to blow the whistle and then just
And
stop.
then stop.
Just,
And then let him punch, and then you get
Yeah.
then they go to the bench for instead, and you're like, oh, I didn't do
Well,
anything.
and props
on the
to
plus
people
side,
like
though.
Marner. Like Marner's done it really good in the playoffs,
Yep.
and he's
Mhm.
one that people were like, what? And Nurse and Kane and stuff too. So go ahead.
One thing
Kyle.
I will say though, the one thing I will say is this actually, again, the whole outcome. It was sad that it got to that point. Don't get me wrong. I like aggressive hockey. I like fucking fighting. I like the intensity and the passion behind it and everything. But at the end of the day, I like this because the Oilers are not going to go in there being fucking cocky to Vegas. The Oilers are going to go in there fucking angry now that happened to Draisaitl and ready to fucking play. If anything, like, I don't know what the outcome of tonight's going to be, but at the same time, I like that because they're like, you know what? Well, we're not fucking putting up with that. fucking just a slash one of our best fucking players, we're gonna show up. We're gonna fucking show out in fucking Vegas, and
You know what I
that's
want?
awesome.
Definitely.
You know what I personally want? This is just me.
What?
I know it's probably not going to happen in the playoffs. I want Eichel and McDavid to throw gloves, and I want Stone and Draisaitl to throw gloves. Everybody else,
Fuck.
fuck out
That
of the
would be
way
awesome.
and let them fucking
Just
go.
let them have at it.
Let them fucking go. And then I think, was that Kane and Barbashev? Like, if you want to just get, like, another heavyweight kind of thing in there, because Reeves is gone, which is one of the dumbest mistakes they ever did besides Fleury. And I can say that
absolutely.
only because Kim's not around.
Like I said, I had to go let the dog in.
No, you're good, dude.
I wanted to say something on what
Oh.
Kyle said.
Go ahead.
I don't remember. Oh, I just wanted to bring up. Remember what I said in the group chat earlier in the week? After that game, I was like, "You're the Vegas Golden Knights, and you're playing the two best players in the world, and you just went out of your way to piss them off.
Yep.
Like you just went out of your
Exactly.
way to piss off the two. Like I say the two best players in the world, but whatever, two of the best players in the world.
That's
Like-
fair.
I think Draisaitl's two.
And I
Like, you got the two best players in hockey right now, and you just went out of your way to like Draisaitl on the bench after all that shit went down, and Buddy's trying to talk to him. He's like, "No, you're good. You're good." I was like, "Oh, buddy."
Yeah.
Draisaitl's about to score 6 goals next game. Like this guy's mad. He's big mad. Mad
different
Mad
than-
Connor and Mad Leon. There's literally not one single player in the world better than both of them when they're angry.
And that was like when LeBron and D Wade were on the Heat together, and San Antonio finally started getting under their skin. It finally made them snap into the very,
Piss
very
them off.
good
Yeah.
team they were.
Yeah, keep
Yep.
pissing them off. Yeah, keep going. That's
And
a great
as much
call.
as I hate the dude,
Yeah.
I hate him. I absolutely hate him. I always will. I don't think it'll ever change. But I will pay the respects as well. You piss off Durant back in the day. He's different because he's now like in the team atmosphere. But when it was like
What do you
Durant
mean-
just
What do
go-
you mean different? Did you see him and Book this like these past couple games just like willing the Suns to 2 wins?
But that's what I mean. Is it was him and Booker. Like back in the day when it was like before and Westbrook was gone, and it was like literally Durant just go out there and do it yourself, and it'd be like 54 fucking points, 12 assists, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, and it's like this guy's ridiculous. This comment here, Connor Bedard was inches away from being a Shark. No. If you want to go
No.
by technicality, by the way
Duh.
that the
Duh.
went, he apparently was inches away from going home to Vancouver. Which is also the reason why, and I forgot to put this in here because I was going to bring this up, obviously. Well, first things first, I want to get this question out of the way. Matt, do you think Bedard's wearing 98 or 16?
98.
98? And if I'm not
Easy.
mistaken, 16 is taken, right? In Chicago?
It was. I don't know if anybody currently is wearing it, but I think probably front office, like, yeah, definitely wear whatever fucking number you want as long as it's not
No
like
shit.
88 or 19.
Yeah, I
or
guess
4,
88,
but
19. Oh,
But-
four.
What kind of pussy
Pushing
do you want for
98.
dinner, Connor?
Esposito?
What kind of pussy do you want for dinner?
yeah, exactly. So you could probably do whatever he wants. I'm guessing he'll be 98 though.
I agree. Now, I was going to bring this up. I forgot to put this in the edit, but I'm actually going to mark this down in my notes so I can actually clip this. The NHL does the lottery draft a lot differently than everybody else does. NBA does it live and all that stuff, and everybody starts getting into the whole, well, like, what the hell, right? Like, why are you doing this behind closed
Veil.
doors, this, that, and
Yeah.
everything else? So I've also agreed. I'm like, yeah, why?
No.
Why don't we do this like live?
No.
The Toronto
Because-
Diet?
Fuck.
Yeah.
If we didn't do it behind closed doors, then Chicago wouldn't get the first pick.
Well, and that's where I've said this before too. If you did this in front, well, and then people would be like, well, then Edmonton wouldn't have gotten McDavid. You would have gone to Buffalo. And we're like, I think the NHL would have even just stepped in at that point and been like, it's not fucking happening.
Yeah.
McDavid's not going to Buffalo, dude. Like, I'm sorry. It'd be no
At
different.
least it was
also,
Nylander. At least it was Nylander.
that went to Buffalo.
No, that scored. At least
Oh,
it was
that
William
scored.
Nylander.
I was thinking of those drafts back then. And then the same thing with the
It was an
Crosby.
Eichel
one.
year, man. You just brought it up.
The Eichel, yeah, sorry.
You
And then
just
the
brought it-
Crosby draft, when he went first overall. Anaheim is probably sitting there being like, hello?
Now what the fuck? Yeah.
The fuck? Though everyone would turn back like, would you rather have the unknowing of just Crosby, respectively, or would you rather have Getzlaf and Perry and what that was? I'm pretty sure most Duck fan, and then Timo Solani for the first one there, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most Duck fans would think that. NJS Shiger and Paul fucking Korea waking up dead to rights on the ice, which is still one of the coolest yet like really concerning highlights of the NHL of all time. Paul Korea fucking waking up dead on the ice and scoring the Stanley Cup winning goal essentially against Martin Brodeur. Yeah, well done. Well done. 89 or 98 and 89 together. Who's 89?
No idea.
89 is Athanasiou. I'm pretty sure. If I
I don't
remember
know
that
who this
correctly.
is. I was gonna say I don't know who this is, but if you're thinking Bedard and Athanasiou are your top two, bro.
Yeah, fuck that.
Fuck. Yeah,
Fuck
I don't know
that.
about that.
No, he wasn't. That was how lottery works. Andrew Vancouver had no shot. I'm talking about Tays inches from scoring. Oh, in overtime 5. He's,
Oh, what a
yes,
game
yes,
that
okay.
was.
I got what you're saying, but
Yep.
that makes sense. Yes. Okay. As a person, and Matt knows this, he's not necessarily a Red Wing fan either, just because of where he lives, but like he respects him. And I've grown to respect Chicago a little bit, though I'm just not a fan of him.
Takes a lot of time, yeah.
Yeah, and you've already known for many of bit here that I'm not. I was like, if Bedard goes to Chicago, I'm just done with this show. Because like you're just gonna be happy every single time we go live. You're like,
I have no complaints, yep.
well, we traded Seth Jones. Who cares?
Oh, actually, trading Seth Jones would be phenomenal too right now, but don't get my hopes up too high.
That's a bad contract too, right?
Yes,
Oh,
Yeah,
that's your equivalent of the Nurse contract. Is someone
Yeah.
like the Oilers out there would have to take on that contract and just hope that they would actually go back in there.
literally, it's literally the fucking the blank check contract we gave to fucking everybody back in the day. The 9 years, $9.5 million, no trade clause. Like,
You mean like what fucking not Bettman? Sorry, what Holland did to my Red Wings for a bit?
exactly, yeah. It was
Well,
the
even
last part of
Nurse
it from
did.
Bowman.
Well,
Like Nurse.
Yeah.
Yes, I know you and Chris have always debated that, like the Nurse thing. Though I will say, like with regards to the Red Wings, our owner was dying, and the owner wanted to keep the squad in until he fucking passed away. I guess I can respect it, but I'm
Bad
still
Well, I was
feeling-
gonna say like the Nurse things make sense too, because like even looking at it now, right? Like where we were at that time, because wasn't that right when we lost Adam Larson too?
around.
So yeah, so the thing is, we just lost Adam Larson, and as like on our defensive line, Nurse is really all we actually had, like pretty much at that very moment, who was consistent and actually performing.
It's not even that. I've said it on it. We bridged him twice.
Yeah,
He wasn't going to go cheap again.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
bridged him twice. If he didn't get paid, he was going to leave.
And I was-
I don't know if he would have gotten 9.5 anywhere else. Maybe he would have. Maybe he wouldn't have.
yeah.
But he would have tested it, and he probably would have just signed somewhere else because we bridged him twice.
It was a victim of our surroundings at that
Yeah,
point.
we
Like
couldn't
we were
afford
pretty
to
much we had
lose
no
him.
choice.
Yeah, we couldn't afford to lose him. It's,
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Alec coming in here with legacy come back from the Cards or Nuke. Appreciate you tuning in. Alec has actually been offered the Dynasty spot there. Matt, if you want to play Dynasty, you can take Team 2. I don't know if you're a big fan of the football guy or not.
I'm really not. I'm
Yeah.
more just watching the game. I would definitely tank the pools. That's for sure. Appreciate the offer though.
Let's fucking go Cardinals. I agree. Alec. Chris also agrees too. Obviously, just for the different sport. Chris also knows the very funny joke about my fiance not understanding the difference of the two Cardinal teams, which she hates. And every time I bring it up, she's like, "Shut the fuck up." But it's literally, I'm like, it's so adorable the fact that you went out of your way to try and find me that hat. So like, I still appreciate it to this day. Chris is now the owner of said hat and said memories of it. So, but yeah.
Sid went out of his way to get me this hat, but he got the right Cardinals.
Yes, yeah.
Better.
He also went out of his way to get me the new Kyler Murray jersey, but he also is the right Cardinals.
Yeah, so yeah, the right Cardinals. Which, hey, Sid. Oh, wait, I was going to say, get us a Bedard jersey, but yeah, he's not in fucking Arizona. Duh. So, there goes Sid becoming a hockey fan because you guys decided to cheat. So,
Worth it. Worth it. Do it again.
It would have been either way. It would have been labeled as rigged.
I agree. If you
That
go
pick,
I'm happy
that
though.
pick should have gone to Anaheim. They were.
I'm happy it
were
didn't go
and
to
are
Anaheim,
terrible. Like
I'm happy it
Anaheim
didn't go to
deserves
Anaheim.
that first pick. They're fucking terrible.
Also true. Go ahead, Cal.
I was gonna say I'm happy they didn't go to, or he didn't go to Anaheim. No,
I
fuck, I don't want
also-
to play Connor
Oh,
Bedard that fucking much.
listen, I'm pumped. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying.
I just hate the Ducks. Fuck.
That's fair.
Taylor Zegras though is good. Zegras is
Zegras
fucking
is-
an absolute stud.
Now, here's the
Said
thing.
about nothing.
I may not like certain teams, but certain players on certain teams I love. AKA, I hated the Blackhawks when they were on their cup runs, but I was like, I fucking mad respect Jonathan Toews. And I was secretly hoping that he would get back to Winnipeg when he was healthy and help him and Wheeler and Scheifele and all those guys, but inevitably that didn't happen.
Yeah, never quite happened out. Yeah.
Pretty sure that 89 was a mistype, and he meant to say 88. As us fans want Kane come back and feed Bedard some saucers, which is
He
funny.
gone.
They should have
Yeah.
asked Patrick Kane that question after the draft lottery, because now Kane is probably like,
So I have a question about that too. How many more fucking players can you feed to the New York Rangers for them to not win a fucking Stanley Cup?
For them to do
Can we
nothing.
seriously answer this now? Like, how many more fucking pieces do you have to give to the New York Rangers for them to still not go to the Stanley Cup? I'm just curious. Like, maybe 5? Five more players?
apparently,
At least
yeah,
4 lines, yeah.
Yeah, apparently 4 very solid defensemen and like
Fuck.
a clone of Cale Makar. And your forward lineup that literally reminds me of like the Ottawa Senators when they went to the Stanley Cup Finals a couple years ago, where it's like a couple names here and there, and then you're like, oh, I forgot that guy's on that fucking team.
Yeah.
That's the Rangers, but I'm like, how is it not
It
working?
did.
I'm
It
gonna
did
hop off.
nothing.
If you're still on when I'm done, I'll be back. But I'm gonna go shower. I've had a very long day. I just want to
Nah,
hop
no
and
problem,
chat for a
Chris.
bit.
We'll
So
talk
if you
to
guys
you.
are still going when I get back from my shower, I will probably hop back in. But
Go check out the video and tell me what you think of it too. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah,
Well,
sounds good.
Peace,
Hey, Bob,
Chris.
talk to you in a bit.
See you
So
guys later.
even that though, like fucking, you look at the Rangers even deeper, right? Like they literally have one of the top goalies. You know what I mean? Like Igor
They have-
Shesterkin.
Yes.
Like he's there, man. Like literally, you could have a subpar fucking defense, and you should mathematically be winning a Stanley Cup. Mathematically, you should be.
Or at least
So
like
what-
competing for it, like in
Get out of the
Yeah.
first
actual
round. Yeah.
So what the fuck then? Like where is the issue then? Is it coaching? Is it the GM? Is
Well,
it?
The coach is gone now, so if
Yeah.
it is the
Yeah,
coach,
go on,
we'll
go on.
find out next season, I guess. But yeah, it was a severely lackluster performance from the Rangers. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched Game 7 of that series, but that was easily the worst playoff game I think I've ever watched in my life. It was the most boring ever. Like, if it didn't have, the Stanley Cup final or like playoffs plastered everywhere, I would assume these were 2 bad teams. Like, the Devils didn't even play well that game. They just so happened to win it. So that face-off, that playoff game was awful. Yeah, it was weird. Gross
It's funny
is
you went
what
to
it
the
was.
Devils too, because my buddy, this guy that I used to work with, fucking huge Devils fan, right? He's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, fucking Devils are gonna go far." I'm like, "No, they're not. They're gonna get knocked out." And he's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "The thing is don't get me wrong. Like, there is something to be said about the Devils. They had a great season. Don't get me wrong,
Yep.
but they're so green. And when it comes to the playoffs, that's the issue. That's the issue. Is regardless, like these teams that squeak by and get into the wild card position, like if you even look at Florida and you look at Seattle, they're filled with veterans that have went to the playoffs, that know what the atmosphere is, that know what the speed of the game is, right?
Change
New
that
Jersey,
happens there. Yeah.
Nope. They don't. And that's the thing. Is like, don't get me wrong, I'm great. It's great that they got a taste of it. But at the same time, now you need to know, oh shit, like this is not the same hockey. Like this is different. Like this is a whole different game now at this point. Right?
And it's funny because there's certain teams though that are built like still now, I guess you would say, or a few years ago, where you can keep 2 to 3, maybe 4 of the guys after like a cup run or like you went to the finals or whatever. And like these contracts that have to be figured out, you can take 4 or 5 years to kind of figure it out where you're like, maybe a first round exit, second round, maybe here, another first round exit kind of thing. But they'll be back. So like Pittsburgh's done it. The LA Kings did it. Chicago did it. Boston has done it a few times as well.
Yep.
And then even some of the teams that haven't won a Stanley Cup, New York Islanders are always scary when you're playing them in the playoffs. You don't know what the fuck they're going to do. Carolina now.
And now they're decently.
I think Edmonton's in that category. I'd say it's stupid not to throw them in that category.
Edmonton 1,000%. Because even people have even said like, well, when you've spent the money on Jack Campbell and you still, it's like it doesn't matter. you can still win games in the playoffs 6-5. It's not the way you want to do it, but if you had a goalie in there that was inexperienced and stuff like that, and it was literally just a shootout game that you had to play, it could still work in your benefit. That is the Oilers game. That is also Carolina's game because they decided to go get a big fucking stick of a defenseman in Brett Burns, who literally, I think 3 years ago, won the Defenseman of the Year and was like top 5 in the league for goals.
Yeah, something like that. I remember.
So,
There's something ridiculous.
he's got 100-mile-an-hour slap shot. So like,
I will say
they
though,
needed that.
Carolina as a whole, like, don't get me wrong, like, out of all the teams that like have scared me in the playoffs, they've been at the top of my list for a bit. But the one thing that I will say that I guess, like, let's say if the Oilers were to meet up with them in the Stanley Cup, they have injuries, and that's the thing. Like, a fully healthy North Carolina Hurricanes fucking would absolutely terrify me with Svechnikov.
I like how you said that the North Carolina Hurricanes,
right?
Like, ooh, like, shit.
Right?
But yeah, no, they have, like, I think it's almost essentially like their second line. You can call it 2A, 2B, and you can switch them from the second and third line. And one whole stretch of that line is injured, and the replacements are kicking ass as well. Like, Carolina's had crop of really good prospects for a long time too.
Oh yeah.
Necas, Fast, Seth Jarvis, I think is his name.
Yeah.
A couple defensemen. That fucking goal. They have 3 goalies. They got Ranta. They got Anderson. They got the young kid. And then they got another one.
Yeah, but they're gonna roll with
too.
Ranta. They're gonna roll with Ranta. Like, Anderson, don't get me wrong, he's played well in Carolina. Nothing against him, but we also gotta remember, like, where's his roots, Foobz? Where's his fucking roots? Right? And that's the thing. Where's his fucking roots? And all of those goalies, I know firsthand, right? Like, we'll just leave it at that.
I love when you turn Toronto like that. Just this, like, if my buddy, I see that my buddy Jared at least tuned into the show. So shout out to Jared. He might also be one of the Facebook users commenting. Which, by the way, all you got to do to avoid that happening, guys, it'll pop you up. Like, if you ever hit the link, it'll pop you up to like a little pop-up thing on your phone or whatever. All you got to do is hit it, and it'll always like post your name.
Yep. Yeah. Takes 2 seconds, honestly.
Take any info or anything like that. So Thomas also said Anaheim, San Jose, and Chicago. Each had 18% chance of getting Bedard going into the final. Ping pong ball, Washington, Arizona, St. Louis, Columbus, Nashville, and Detroit had a 9% chance.
No, that's not true. Anaheim had a higher percentage.
After the last one, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Also, Rafael Rivera, thank you for tuning in. Superflex Dynasty pick 2. Already picked Herbert 1-7 and trade second round pick. Kenneth Walker, Dax Stroud, Saquon, EK, Etienne, Cubs, Jacobs, Andrew. Wow. Pick 2. Herbert and trade second round pick. Here's the thing. I don't want, just to talk fantasy football here for a second, I don't want Kenneth Walker anymore. He's actually part of this list, which I'll get to in a bit. I don't want him anymore.
Saquon and Pitts.
If it's just for this year, no, it says Dynasty. I'm going to take, he says Superflex, so I'm taking Dak. And I'm probably going with I kind of agree with you on the Pitts one. Just because I would take Pitts and then I would dangle him out there so I can get like another running back. Because like if someone had Josh Jacobs, someone would offer me like a Jacobs and then like a Sterling Shepard or something like that. So I would probably do that.
I want to transition to this too, just because we're on this topic. I think this fucking season, Kyle Pitts is going to be on a whole different fucking level. Like, don't get me wrong. People have been shitting on him saying, you know what? He was supposed to be this real high prospect. He's not performing. You know, he's not making catches, so on and so forth. But like, at the same time, look at what he had, right? He had a decaying Matt Ryan, okay? And he had Marcus Mariota, who wanted to be a quarterback, but was actually a running back, right? He literally has had nobody to ever throw him the ball. And then when he did last season, he was injured, so he didn't even get the opportunity to make those receptions, make those catches, and get those touchdowns. I'm telling you right now, Kyle Pitts is going to have one hell of a fucking season. Whether the Atlanta Falcons tank or not, I'm letting you know right now, he's going to be a fucking highly, highly sought-out prospect. Telling you right now.
Now, here's the thing, because I know you're going to be taking off in a couple minutes, because I know you got the Oilers game popping up.
Yep.
Here. I'm not ready to say this just yet because Sean Spencer always uses Andrew called the Giants last year. So I'm waiting for Andrew's next Giants call, and then I might put some money down or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I appreciate it. Da, da, da. My pick right now, just looking over everything right now for my Giants pick, my sleeper pick or whatever this year, might actually be the Atlanta Falcons.
Wow.
Because and it's funny because I see Sean Spencer just popped into the background right now as I was talking about the guy. The Giants pick, Sean, when you gave me props for that Giants pick, you're like, Andrew called the Giants before everybody. So, yeah, I'm kind of leading right now already this year, this upcoming year, to it being the Atlanta Falcons. And it's not necessarily because of the Desmond Ridder that everybody keeps talking about. If Ritter's good, then, okay, cool. Then you probably go 9-8. And even that would surprise the fuck out of probably you, Anthony, every other Falcon fan I know, even me.
I have them as 10-6. That's what I have them at.
That's not bad. Well, 10-7.
Oh no, sorry, 10-7.
Yeah.
10-7. Yeah, 10-7.
Now, here's the other thing that other people don't understand. Atlanta went in the draft. Atlanta went a whole different route the last 3 years than anybody else.
Yeah.
That all being said, Atlanta doing that has now made it so that if it doesn't work this year,
yep.
Now all of a sudden they have a high draft pick next year, which now everybody's like, oh, cool. So Caleb Williams gets a fucking offense like this, or Drake May, or Q and Ewers, or any of those guys, or whatever. Or hypothetical, because I keep throwing this out there, Justin Herbert doesn't get extended, and all of a sudden you have this stupid thing going on with Lamar and the Chargers, who are infamously known to not pay people and drag things out. If an offer comes from Atlanta, and Atlanta's like, just take my picks.
Yep.
Take a random player off my defense. Go right ahead. Not Jarrett. Leave Jarrett alone. Don't touch him.
Yep.
Look at him. Don't look at Terrell yet. Okay, maybe tell us who you want to look at for it, but you know what I mean. They make that trade happen and bring in a veteran or sign one of those type of guys in a free agency. Now all of a sudden where everybody's like, oh, the Buccaneers when they had Tom Brady, or oh, the LA Rams when they had Matt Stafford. I would be like, oh, Justin Herbert went to Atlanta with Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts and Drake London and a whole other side.
Tyler Algier.
Free agency would literally, and then another whole other side that a free agent would be like, hi, I'm like a Devontae Adams. I'm a Justin Jefferson who just hit the free agency market. I would like nothing more than to come in this offense.
Fuck, man.
That's the one thing I don't want, but I'm not ready to do that yet. But before we get in here, because I want to bring Sean in.
I'm already.
Yeah, I want to get you out of here. Kyle, tell everybody where we can find you.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to North Sports Dynasty. I am one of the hosts. So you can find me Friday nights, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. As well, I am as well one of the hosts of Let's Talk Football NFC South Takeover. So that'll be starting up hopefully soon. We got some content rolling out. And yeah, you can check me off on Facebook. That's basically all you can find me. So that's basically it. I'm outie.
All right, buddy. Good luck to your Oilers. I'll talk to you in a bit.
See you guys.
Well,
all right. So Kyle's going to get out of here. NFC South Takeover. Damn right. Let me pull him out of there. There we go. All right. So, Matt,
yes.
Want to stay on for a little bit longer while we bring on a Commander fan after the break?
Certainly. I can hang out for a bit.
Sounds good. Talk some football for you.
Certainly.
All righty. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to NSD. What we are going to do right now is take a quick commercial break after I get to a couple of quick comments here. I already have 3 firsts for next year. And if it's super flex for next year, okay, then maybe start looking at one of the players instead of Dak then. Because if you got a quarterback that you can just throw in there right now, just leave that. Correction, Detroit wasn't in the running. I know. And I was like, we have the 9th overall pick. Me and Matt will talk about my Red Wings next week when we pop up on our show. So I can afford some elder players. I think I agree. Problem with Pitts is he will be boom bust this year. That's a run first team. And to be honest, I see them using Bijan for dump offs more than Pitts. Jarek will be number one option on the outside. That's also a very good point. They could also just say, you know what, Pitts, we're going to put you as the other side wide receiver now, kind of thing. And I'll eliminate that problem altogether. Then really, it's that whole offense has just got so much things that they can do, and it's just really cool. So
assuming perfect health,
Right? Also, thank you for tuning in, Thomas. And everybody else out there, all the newer viewers that we got. Give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow on the live page here, up on the NSD page. I got another guest coming up on here in a couple minutes. I'm just going to get to paying the bills and a new commercial today. I was like, wait, where the hell is all my video? There they are. A new commercial today. We do Jeopardy here at NSD with all the hosts. We are going to be doing a fan one here pretty damn soon. And I made a highlight package of it today, so you'll see that in the commercials here. And also a quick little highlight of Sid being a funny ass son of a gun. So we'll be back in about 3 to 4, maybe 5 minutes here at NSD. We'll see you then. Pittsburgh Steelers, number 75.
Who is Mr. Mean Joe Green?
Try me again, motherfucker.
Kelly is correct.
There go. Who's Champ Bailey?
That's a double jeopardy right there, ladies and gentlemen. Double jeopardy.
What is a super flex?
Superflex is correct.
Yeah.
Out of kid, Kyle.
Oh.
I will take owners for 500, please.
Wait, I need to get out of here. Fuck.
Holy crap! I have the most passing yards in a Super Bowl. Connor McDavid, that is incorrect.
You son of a bitch.
Chris. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
No, you gotta be kidding. Hit so hard and it's Ed Reed, not Ray Lewis. Are we kidding me here?
Well, I'm
Alex.
Well, I'm fucked.
That's
Break it down now. 201 points.
you son of a bitch.
All of it. All of it or no balls.
You son of a bitch. Need to wait till the question was done.
You know what? You know
What
what?
the fuck is this?
I'm just glad I did the math right and I didn't lose by a point.
Incorrect.
Fuck.
So I'll put you down to. What? I love that video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to North Sports Dynasty. Thank you. I am 1/5 of your host, and there, joined with me is the one guest that you all saw, my other host, on the One Timer Hockey Show. I did that right. Hey,
You did it.
hey!
Yeah, look at that.
Oh my god! For some odd reason, it will not stick in my brain, and I hate it. I'm gonna have to
That's
do
fair.
lines or something like that. My co-host of the One Timer Hockey Show, the happiest Blackhawk fan in the world right now, Mr.
yeah.
Matt Bannon. Thank you for being here tonight.
Chris, thank you.
And below me right now, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Washington Commander himself, the man, the myth, the legend from, if I can do this. Nope, there it is. Nope. I always say I can do this, but I don't. From Let's Talk Football, the co-creator, co-founder, co-producer, literally everything there, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Sean Spencer. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for having me. How we doing tonight?
I'm good. I most of my afternoon was spent between trying to figure out why my check engine light came on.
Oof.
And I am not, listen, I am not a car guy.
Yeah.
I can change a tire. I can
It's good.
respectfully change the oil. But after that, I can put, the windshield washer fluid. I know that.
Yep.
But
And the rest is for YouTube. The rest is
Yeah,
on YouTube.
exactly.
YouTube, someone, I give you money, you tell me what's wrong with it kind of thing.
Mhm.
I fix it or you fix it. I give more money kind of thing. No. That check engine light came on. I got scared. Yep. And I was like, okay, hold on. Cars have air filters, right? Right. I got air filters, right? I haven't changed that son of a bitch in a while. Okay. Let's start there. So I'm glad to say that I changed that out today. I
Well
turned
done.
the car on. That little fucking light is no longer there.
There you go.
And now I feel as though I can work on cars. And
Let's go.
I'm a mechanic. Speaking of building things,
Yes.
one of the reasons why I brought Sean Spencer on tonight is because we basically had breaking news happen today. We now have, and I say official because something may happen, but it is official. Schefter broke it. It's not like it's actually made like news. Is the Harris and company have officially bought the Commanders? Like not even gonna like try and do all the sugar-coated wording and stuff like that. We're not playing that game anymore. Let Sean and Will and all the other Commander, and I'll even say it for the respect that it was before, the Redskin fans from back in the day, have this day. Is Dan Snyder is out. The new ownership is coming in. Sean, how do you feel?
Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. I've been a Washington fan my entire life. The earliest memory I have is 1988, January 31st, Doug Williams beating the Broncos. Okay, so I've been here for a long time. So I still have to see with my eyes this man walk or get kicked, preferably get kicked out of the building. Okay, and I need to see them put the gate, shut the gate on him, revoke his key card. Everything needs to be done before I can get excited. With that being said, nah. Hey. Bye, Dan. Let's go.
That's right.
Phenomenal.
So you got it. So one of the worst owners in the NFL, and I say one of because there's still a couple other ones out there. I would even throw my owner in there, even though my owner is like the one. I'm gonna say this as nicely as I can. It's like being in a relationship where, and say you are the girl, I'll say the girl, and your boyfriend, like he leaves for a bit, and you kind of like it's cold and it's dark and you don't really like the situation that's kind of going on. And then he just randomly comes back and he's like, I just bought you a brand new truck with 6 doors, 18 tires on one side, hot pink and stuff like that. And that was the John Gruden era. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they disappear for the, they go back to work or whatever kind of thing. And the truck gets beat up and, 17 of the tires fall off kind of thing. And then all of a sudden they come back and they're like, listen, I bought you a 69 Chevelle. I bought you the classic of all classics. I bought you Eleanor for crying out loud. Like I bought you the car. And then she drove that thing for a bit. And then just like old cars do, AKA the Brady era, you have to retire it.
Yeah.
I agree. We kind of got a bad owner too, though, because we're just gonna have to deal with 18 more years of this shit. Anyways, but you got the coach on, you got the new ownership and stuff like that. You got Eric Bieniemy. We've talked about that stuff, but now this ownership. What is next? Like, what is, say, the next steps? Like, this is obviously going to be a couple years, maybe down the road, I guess, is when you'll finally see the physical changes happen, right? Whether it's a new stadium, a new name, which me and you have joked before, and it's like, how many damn times, how many different chants are you going to have to come up with? So, what is next for the Commanders and you as a fan base? Like, what is next?
Well, funny thing is, the name has actually been on a lot of people's minds recently because we know why Dan Snyder got rid of it. It wasn't because I feel for the Native American people. No, it's because Nike and NFL and all of them stopped selling your merchandise, so it hit your wallet. That's the only reason why you changed it. You know what I mean? So, and then you go for football team and the Commanders. I don't know if this new owner wants to come in and switch things up. Will thinks he might even go back to Redskins, but I don't think that's happening. But I can see him trying to do something. In all honesty, guys, the first thing that he needs to do is first scrub everything that had anything to do with Dan. Anything in the in-house, anything with the personnel, the team, everything. Scrub all that. And then secondly, look, this guy's an owner of the 76ers. The 76ers are, I don't know if they're playing tonight, but they're one game away from the conference championship. They got the NBA MVP on their team in Joel Embiid. You do what you did over there, all right? And then on top of that, you got Magic? Come on now. It's easy to be optimistic, especially you talked about having Eric Bieniemy. I'm so excited about that. We have a quarterback that's very young. Everybody's saying, you don't have a quarterback. But this is what we want. We have new ownership coming in, new culture, a coach that is on his last leg, potentially an OC that can move up. And now we have a young team. We're trying to bring it up and put together. Let's just, take it one day at a time. Let's get these rookies in here and see what they got. But at the end of the day, you need to come here and scrub everything from there and start from scratch. Talk to the guys. Just see, get personable. That's what we want with the fans, the guys, everything. Dan, you can't approach. We didn't want to approach him. He was a punk. I'm ready to say it. I don't care.
Some of the comments here, just so I can get to the one that came down. ASC and Tate's jersey, and I click. I like that, Thomas. We got the show, that our hockey show coming back on. Like I said, we're busy, and especially like now that Bedard has gone to Chicago, and I guess we're just gonna have to.
Some Happy Matt, sad Andrew shows. So
you know what? Yes, but the only thing I got going for me is I got better prospect pool.
You certainly do.
But I would trade all of my prospects for Bedard. That's for sure.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah,
I got Ovi. I got Ovechkin, guys. Ovechkin.
Which
there you go.
I got.
And buddy, for a second,
it's a solid step.
For a second in that lottery draft, when they were about to flip the Washington card, I was like, if this is not Washington,
I thought so.
Washington gets a top 3 pick or a shot at Bedard, I was like, Bedard and Ovi? Yeah, Ovi's going for 1,000, y'all.
He's never retiring at that point.
Yeah.
No,
He's like NHL 23 here a couple of times where I played a couple of franchises, and Ovi goes till he's like 47 sometimes.
Oh God, yeah, literally falls apart.
Yeah, I'm like, no. Scott says, I'll have what Andrew is on. Thank you for tuning in, Scott, as always. I don't have any prizes tonight, dude. I'm sorry. We do have some prizes coming up for the next season. Obviously, we got NSD shirts, which I should have. It's behind the suit, but it's there. We got NSD shirts. They're for sale, so if you want one, you can buy one, and then you can just rip off the sleeves like I did. Actually, I can rip off the sleeves. I'm weak as shit. Kim cut them and made them nice and symmetrical. So I just pray that one day I can fill out my shirts like Sid does, but let alone I'm up here eating moose meat and I can't gain shit. Scott also says, I hope Stan Kroenke is next. I also agree. But I love calling them the commies.
So does everybody else, man. It's okay. At this point, we don't even care. All right. We just wanted Dan out. That's it. You can call us whatever. All right.
The funny part is I was happy to know Sean before it went from Redskins to the Commanders. So we were all in a group chat the day that the name was coming out and stuff like that. And we all kind of knew it was either Commanders or I think Red Wolves was the other close one or something like that. And he's in the chat like, I don't mind Red Wolves, or I think there's another one that you were okay with. And then I think after a while you were like, I'm okay with the Commanders. It took 10 minutes maybe, and I'm pretty sure it was Ash that comes in and goes, "Oh, the commies," and from there on, oh my god,
plummeted down.
David comes in the chat, everyone's just going to the chat, like, "Oh, the commies," and it's just one of those things where you're like, I just have to live with this now. So,
and then what did David say? Wait, don't be a commie. Vote for America's team.
Yes,
I was like, I'm mad because it works. I hate it.
Oh my god, that's why. So David's line was actually up for nomination for the first ever NSD Awards last year for that line. And I was like, listen, if I had enough money, I would have literally made a shirt and like had some sort of a design for every single like phrase that was said. Yeah. Which I'm just gonna say, just for whatever, I go and check out every single show. Doesn't matter if Let's Talk Football, NFL Edition, fucking sports talk, anything that's down there in Tampa. It doesn't matter anymore. All you see is the second a show turns on, someone goes first. And I love it. I'm like, yep, that's right. I love it. I started something. Yeah. Now I can't be the first one. I can never be the first to watch everyone's show. Go in there and try. Nope, can't do it because someone's already beaten me to it. Gotta be second or third or Andrew, get out of here. You're too late.
There's the one that was waiting for you.
Yeah. Sean,
let's go.
Spencer.
Let's go. And my Orioles won today. Let's go.
You will hold the heck on. You're an Orioles fan now?
Come on. Oh. I was born right near Baltimore. Before we had the Nationals, it was all Orioles. Cal Ripken Jr., Brady Anderson. My guys, yeah.
I have something that I will send to you. So it's not that, listen.
Uh-oh. There's a huge butt, I think, coming in front.
I was going to say something, but I was like, this is live, and I don't want to get say too personal live. There's a person that I used to be friends with that is on a bunch of shows on Let's Talk Football and NFL Edition and all that other kind of stuff. Johnny Dean. Johnny Dean back in the day sent me Baltimore Orioles Machado, I think it is, jersey.
Oh yeah, Manny.
Yeah, and I've worn it a couple of times, kind of thing, but it's always just like chill there because I'm like, listen, like I as a Cardinals fan, I can't not have a Cardinals jersey in my house and an Orioles jersey. So I got my actual Cardinals jersey literally like right here. So I'll send you
get that out of there.
NSD jersey, a Orioles jersey, so that it can actually go to good use.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot he's a Cubs fan there.
Yeah, get that shit out of here.
But that's like
Orioles
when
a superior bird, damn it.
That's right.
Which hold on. So, side before I get into the story, everyone see the NFL schedule drops and stuff like that, and all the social media teams. The Titans, when they had all the people coming in and like saying all the people's names and stuff like that, and they're screwing up all the time there. And the one girl's like, "Oh, the Baltimore Orioles," and it pops up the Baltimore Ravens logo. It's like, "Oh, so close."
Right there.
I like this. Washington did have a 9% chance of getting Bedard. If that final ping pong ball comes up a 3 instead of a 9, he's a cap.
Thank God he didn't.
And see, now this is what I'm saying too, Thomas. We were talking about this at the beginning of the show. Make that live. Do that live. Yeah. And I don't care if they're like, well, people won't understand all the different ways that the ball could fall and stuff like that. I don't care.
Because you can explain it at that point.
Exactly.
That's where you have O-Dog and Darren Dreger and all these other guys that everyone on the online hates. Put them on a TV show so that you can go and hate them together. Like, you don't understand.
I think that's and it would do for hockey what it did for football, what it did for basketball. We're so into the draft now in the NFL that we forget that there was a time that it wasn't broadcast. It was in a hotel room with just people going up and doing things by phone and everything like that.
Yeah, they just called everybody up, right? Yeah, there was no hurrah about it. It was just, hey, you're playing for them now. Okay, cool. And then they just go on and get it.
Scott, Scott. Oh, okay. So Sean gets a
Right.
prize. You're forgiven since you're a Cardinals fan.
Let's go.
I live in St. Louis, dude.
I'm
Which
so
is
sorry for you, Scott.
Which-
Yeah.
Now cue Scott being like, go Blues forever, because he
Right,
came
oh,
into
yeah.
one of our shows before and was giving Matt a hard time for a bit.
It was worth it to get Bedard, so
Yeah.
I'll take that in stride.
Yeah, every time Bedard scores on St. Louis, Matt just like gets so much more happier. He's just like, like, honey, come here. It's time to get impregnated.
You're right. Come on,
Yeah.
man. Come on.
It's Bedard babies from now on.
Wait, look.
Honey.
Speaking of which, this is a holiday in my household, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yep.
yeah. There will
Let's
be some
go.
what's the date? February 12th, 2023? Yes.
Yep.
9 months, guys.
Well, hey,
Can't wait.
I gotta wait almost probably like 300 and that would be 342 more days until Drake May is in a Buccaneers jersey. So that's listen. I'm
Wait, let's see.
into it. You can't mute me on my own. I see what you're trying to
I
do.
was looking for it.
That'd be great.
I need to mark
I'll
that
give
down.
it to you. I'll give it to you. There's your
Yeah, I
deal.
gotta. Oh yes, please. I thought we're gonna do the mute thing. Like, get out of here. Like Alex goes to do, and I'm like, don't you try that. That's hilarious. No, I've said because Alex is like, oh, what? So you're gonna be like 1-16? I'm like, well, kind of. And he's like, you're not going 1-16. I'm like, I know. Well, we'll go 6-11, and we'll have the 8th to 10th overall pick.
Yeah.
By that time, Todd Bowles ain't coming back. A few other people in that room, including was it Clyde Christensen or whatever that there's a dude that's literally like his skin is falling apart, and I think he's my quarterback coach or something like that. It's like, bro, just Brady's not here anymore. Just go. Like you're good. You can take the hell off, man. Yeah, you're good. So that's why I'm like, I'm pretty sure everyone would get fired. Bruce will be like, listen, when I coached and shit, everything was fine. Now I'm in the office. You guys don't know what to do. Fuck off, right? Bruce is just gonna sit in his office. Yeah, he's just gonna sit in his office, get mad. Ain't nobody gonna approach that office door and tell him he's fired. And he'll be like, "Oh, I'm fired? Yeah, I'm in the Ring of Fucking Honor. I could walk through this place. They love me. They fucking adore me. I brought Brady here, bitch. Fuck you. Like, yeah,
try me.
That's
Yeah, right.
scary. But I've said, give me Ken Dorsey after the Bills fall out of it again. Give me the offensive coordinator from the Bills. Give me his squad of guys kind of thing that he'll want. Give me the whole new, say, rebuild kind of thing. And then take our 9th overall pick, take the 2025 first overall pick, do the same package that Carolina did. Probably got to add maybe 2 more thirds equivalent and get up to the first overall pick or the 2nd overall pick. That's me. Because I'm like, if Arizona is in the same fucking ballpark this year for next year, they're going to be like, all right, who's got the package? And you'll be like, dude, take Chris Godwin at that point. I don't care.
Yeah.
Give me Drake May in a Bucs uniform. I'll take Caleb Williams too. I just don't want to start praying for the moon when I can have the nice pretty birdie outside my window, which is Drake May. Okay.
That's fair. Yeah.
Wait. You got a guy that might be coming out over here in Notre Dame, and Sam Hartman, man. You know, he's up there in that conversation with those guys.
And he's like what, 25 or 26 too, right? He's older.
He's up there.
Yes, he is. Let's look it up. He is older than you would expect.
That's the thing is, I like that though.
23. Yeah.
Okay, 23. Yeah. So when he comes out, he'll be 24. I don't mind that because some of these other kids are still 21, 22. They're off that fresh kind of kid mindset. I still remember being 21 in Canada. I know it's different in the United States because that's the legal drinking age and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Canada's legal drinking age is 18 to 19. So
yeah. I guarantee you nobody they haven't drank before. So
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the college that you go to though. Isn't there like one or two colleges that you guys have that are like completely anti like
Liberty in Virginia?
Yeah. Or
that's why the
Mormon,
Titans
Brigham Young, maybe.
There's a couple places, but
Oh,
but I think it's not about age. Like Matt said, it's about accessibility. If you can get it, because there's a lot of stuff you can get before the age, and all of a sudden you're messed up on. Like I tasted not to go down that road, but I tasted, moonshine and,
Oh, yeah.
lovely green grass of the world. I tasted all that stuff well before I was of age.
Oh, buddy, as I've always said, and I've never shied away from it too, because anybody who knows me, like, they know me kind of thing. I have talked to many of different gods that I will never believe in when I am sober, but I've talked to them. I've been there.
Good to keep it jumping, right? Yeah.
I've also joked where it's like, they on like these superhero shows where they take like these serums and they can run faster, stuff like that. Like, you don't need to inject yourself with a serum. There's other things, my guy. Like, I have been on the side of a bridge, and I'm not trying to scare anybody. I've been on the side of a bridge, taking my clothes off because I was like, my adrenaline is too high and I need to scare myself or do something to put myself on this level of fear. I'm jumping. And my buddy's like, no, you're not. I'm like,
what are you doing? Yeah.
By the time he goes to say, no, you're not, I've already just stepped off. And I knew where I was going. It was fine. I knew what I was doing. Yes, I was high, but I knew what I was doing. Okay. And I was fine. And everything that I said was going to happen happened. I floated and I was so calm and I was no longer high. So.
Oh yeah,
that's a hell of a way to get down. Yeah,
you're right.
That also being said, going back to what kind of we were talking about here, that's just me living in the land right now with like the Drake May. I know we're probably not gonna have it because Kyle Trask is gonna take us to 17-0, and we're gonna win the Super Bowl with Kyle Trask throwing for 575 yards against Patrick Mahommes and shit like that. Like, we're gonna do all the crazy stuff that Sid inevitably is like, no, like Sid. I love Sid to death, but Sid is like praying that Kyle Trask does good so he can be like, yeah, Andrew, yeah, you just hate Kyle Trask, don't you?
Spite's a powerful tool.
Yeah, you want Drake May so bad. And be like, yeah, I do. I still do. So, shout out to Stenson Benson, the next Tom Brady. Yeah, you only say that because he went to the Rams. So. Which I'm not going to lie, Scott, if you watched the draft show, you had Alex shaking when there was a possibility on the Friday show that the Rams could have had the Tennessee guy there, Hooker, Hendon Hooker. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, I will never want to go live ever again and just deal with Scott in the comment section. Going to check out Ben Cornett's show right now. Yes, guys, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Cornett's also got a show going on. I usually try to keep the shows a little bit shorter and stuff like that. We were having a good time tonight. But obviously, if you like Ben Cornett, go give him a like and a share and a follow. Right now, I'm actually just going to be going over a couple of fantasy things before I get the guys out of here. And the one thing I just wanted to go off here for all your Dynasty guys. So I've had a few people reach out to me. Which also, by the way, Sean, you not being in Dynasty this year now has just completely screwed up the whole thing. So, but I still love it. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
You're good. We in Dynasty this year, a lot of people have reached out to me and been like, okay, like where is like this person's ranking comparatively for Superflex, this, that, and everything else, Dynasty, redraft. So I was like, okay, I'll do my rankings and I'll actually put them up on the page so everybody can have them every week, especially in the season when it comes up to it. And with this rookie draft that's coming up, listen, I know a lot of people are like, give me hints and pointers before the rookie draft tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I no longer do that at NSD because there are literally smart people in our group who listen to what I say and then consider that into their draft strategy. And they're like, oh, so Foobz at his second round pick is for sure grabbing these players. So if I wanted one of these players, I need to get ahead of Foobz. Thank you, Foobz, for going live and telling me that. You'll all get my secrets next week.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah.
But the things I wanted to tell everybody is a lot of people have reached out and been like, okay, so what are the hurt players that you keep talking about? There's not like hurt players where they're necessarily like injured or anything like that. There's just a list of fantasy football players that are now going to hinder you in a dynasty league. And everyone knows dynasty means you draft a player, you keep a player, you trade for that player. He is on your team until you decide to throw him off, trade him off, whatever. So the list that I have made up here to go over quickly and give everybody a heads up that you can kind of use, I guess you would say, for this rookie draft that you're probably going to be doing tomorrow. Kenneth Walker is my number one. They got another Kenneth Walker. Seattle has decided that if our quarterback is not going to do it in Geno Smith, because we lost our offensive coordinator and he's on the Bucs, and I still don't think he's even going to do shit there, but that's neither here or there. Then we have 2 running backs. Kenneth Walker will tear it up down the middle, and Zach Charbonneau will also tear it up down the middle, which, by the way, also go look at tape on Zach Charbonneau when he is in what's the word I'm looking for? When the game is tight and he is being asked to do things, watch the way that he runs the ball and tell me if you don't see Marshawn motherfucking Lynch.
Yep. Well, especially when you go back to that Michigan tape before he went to UCLA, he was a monster.
That high stepping ability that he had, the stiff arm that he can throw in there. At first when I saw it, I was like, oh, I do not like this spot for him. But for fantasy purposes, of course. For real life purposes, man, I don't want to be dealing with no Seahawks running games. So, Kenneth Walker, take him away. Ryan Tannehill, especially for you Superflex guys, you may not be getting the same value you hope for because you're only going to get him for about this year, and then it's the Will Levis show. Yep. But I would still try to trade him off, get the best value that you can. Tyler Algier, newsflash, you're a backup now. No offense. A team does not take a top 10 pick on a running back and use him as a slot wide receiver or third down passing games. Tyler Algier, you are a second back now. You're the third down pass catching back if they need you. Or you're going to be in that weird I formation that they were running with Cordell Patterson last year, which also is a problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So what do you think of Patterson? Because, he used to play kick returner and wide receiver before they fell into having to use him at running back. Do you think they push him back, or do you think they make him the number 2?
So this is where kind of what I was saying earlier, where I'm like, I got to go and do like my homework, I guess you would say, on all these teams first before I make my Giants pick of this year. And like I said, I'm leaning Atlanta. And the reason why I'm doing it is because it almost makes sense. If you are Arthur Smith, which we've seen Arthur Smith when he was on the Tennessee Titans run that offense so brilliantly. Like Derrick Henry could literally just like a hot knife through butter. Now it's like a dull knife through butter. He's still getting through there, but he's getting hit on the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Arthur Smith's system is very, within the 10-yard line, 15-yard line. And he's got the pieces now too, where what Cordell Patterson and Tyler Algier did in that running game, Bijan now can do respectively by himself, and Tyler can do some of the backups. You can allow Cordell Patterson to now be the utility player that nobody else has ever had. I've always talked about like the Visca Sano's and the Percy Harvins, your Deshaun Jacksons, all those guys of back in the day, like the fun that they brought, which by the way, for all you guys out there, I'm not going to say the name. You're going to go have to find it out. If you're looking for the next Deshaun Jackson, the next big player out of this draft, he currently got drafted to Houston, and there's a reason why their quarterback wanted him there. And he is from Houston. So
the tank.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cheers to you there too, Thomas. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. Cordell Patterson is like a 220-pound linebacker that can do everything. So what you wanted Percy Harvin to do, and then he got injured doing, now Cordell Patterson can do and get way more yards. You can run him in motion, and somebody has to follow him. And not just anybody, a special somebody, which is going to allow Bijan to eat, or even Tyler to eat, or even Drake to see one-on-one coverage against a nobody on, say, the Saints, or I don't say the Bucs or the Panthers because they actually got corners. Fuck the Saints, as usual, every show. Respecting Nicole, though. Respecting Nicole.
Understand. Dallas sucks, too, but it's all good.
Yeah, Dallas sucks. Well, that's the other team that I'm considering, but someone told me that it has to be a team that sucked the year before and then is good. So I can't pick Dallas. But Dallas is
technically Dallas always sucks. So I mean,
well, okay, fair.
Where you at, Ash? Let's go. Let's go.
That's where I'm at with Atlanta right now. I think that they use Cordell Patterson as more as like that utility player again, and it's really going to start screwing with guys. And that's why I'm like, Atlanta could probably go 9-8, and everybody be like, why are we losing to Atlanta? Because they have players and a defense now that they paid for. So the other one I got here, obviously, with Tyler Algier was Cordell Patterson. They're going to take hits in the fantasy football. Utility players don't necessarily get all the big fantasy football point games that you want. They're not, and not everybody's Taysom Hill, and he's not going to get Taysom Hill abilities. But now that I think about it, because of the size of him, he might get those 3rd and 1 carries. So he might get a lot of that red zone targets, but he's still not going to get as much as he did last year. So
That's it.
Like the Patriots a couple years back.
Exactly.
Stevenson and all those guys.
Yep, literally all of those guys. Tyler Lockett's the next guy I got here. They went and got Jackson Smith and Jigba. They are going to be paying DK Metcalf, and they've already paid Tyler Lockett, who has not necessarily produced up to the contract that he has been paid. So look for him to be on the trade block for the next 2 years, and his name to appear just like Brandon Cooks. Somebody's going to take a shot on him, just like Dallas did, because they need a deep threat guy. Someone's going to take a shot on Tyler Lockett. Look for someone like Minnesota, or if a playoff team comes in there who needs another target. So Dallas actually would make sense. Buffalo would actually make sense as well. Even the Chiefs would make sense too. I know they want to use Kadarius as the number 1 now, which for all of my dynasty teams is like,
Of course.
I used my Florida guy, dude. I knew what he was going to be. I'm like, he's literally the UT. He's Percy Harvin. David Montgomery is next. They got Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit, and he's going to be taking all the passing. David Montgomery got really good points in fantasy football when he was catching the ball. If he's not catching the ball, he's getting 22 carries, and he's getting you 10 points because he got 100 yards. That's it. That's all he's doing. David Montgomery on Detroit is not going to be catching the ball, especially in a PPR league, and they're going to give it to Jahmyr Gibbs in that red zone. That's just the way it is. So be careful with David Montgomery. Keenan Allen.
Specific to him.
Yes. Keenan Allen as well. They got Quentin Johnson, which is literally someone said Quentin Johnson is what they said Keenan Allen was going to be coming out of college. Really good player, but there's things that he's going to have to work on. And if he figures it out, he's going to be amazing. The fact that Herbert's going to have 2 possession wide receivers on each side and what Mike Williams can do, and then eventually what Quentin Williams can possibly do, that's insane. So make sure you get rid of Keenan Allen right now in Dynasty, because he's not – some people are like, oh, he can get traded and go somewhere and be amazing. It's going to be no different than what Robert Woods for you in Dynasty. Good name, big name, not what you want it to be as much anymore. Rashad Bateman, that kind of goes without saying. Odell Beckham. The other Zay Flowers, thank you. Bateman might see 1 or 2 games where he becomes like a deep threat because somebody figures out how to cover all the other wide receivers, but you don't want to start keeping players on your bench that are only good for 2 games like that, because you don't know when you're going to play them. So.
You still got Mark Andrews too, so he's taking a bunch of those catches.
And speaking of tight ends, the next one that we got here, Darnell Knox.
Ooh.
Dalton Kincaid is going to Buffalo. And Knox was amazing last year in the red zone. But all of those red zone targets that he sees is now going to Dalton Kincaid. And the backup receptions that Buffalo wanted to give to a backup tight end or to the tight end too is now going to go to Knox. And he's going to be your 20 to 25 tight end. But you don't want the second tight end to be your fantasy football guy. Josh Allen is going to be finding this guy in the end zone. That's the guy that I would be. Dalton Kincaid is the one tight end where I'm like, in a redraft or dynasty, you're not going to get him as high. Redraft, someone, if he's available in the 8th, 9th, 10th round, and you start getting to running backs and wide receivers that you can get in later rounds, you take him as fast as you can, and you thank me later. The last 3 that I got for you tonight, Jared Goff. If you are a fantasy dynasty owner, all you want to do right now, if you are a Goff owner and he's your guy, and you've had a backup like Baker or Sam Darnold as your other quarterback, you need Hendon Hooker, and you need to trade up to the top 5. It's going to be in a super flex. It's going to be Bryce. It's going to be Richardson. It's going to be Levis, and it's going to be Stroud. And Bijan is going number 1 in every single league, but someone might reach in that other top 4 picks there. So you need to get into the top 5, and you need to grab Hendon Hooker. You got 1 more year of Goff, arguably, and if Alex was here, he would debate with me a little bit on it. I can almost guarantee that, actually.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But Hendon Hooker
You got
is
3 more years of him. Trust me.
this offense. I'll take Jameer Gibbs at 1. Jared Goff is there, but they are going to eventually see what they can get out of Hendon Hooker. And if he does even just one game that Deshaun Watson did for the Texans way back in the day, it's over. It's over. So grab Hendon Hooker as best as you can. Be careful with the Jared Goff. Alvin Kamara is my last one. They got a stud running back in New Orleans. I believe that's Keandre Miller.
Yeah. With Jamal Williams, too.
Exactly. And Alvin Kamara has got some lawsuit issues going on right now.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
The video is not great. And the New Orleans Saints are one of those teams that are in cap hell.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara's contract after this year becomes very easy to drop, respectively. Of course, I say easy because I don't deal with millions of dollars every day. But, man, they eventually are going to cut him. And Keandre Miller apparently is a clone of what he can be. And I've laughed. I'm like, he's not Jameer Gibbs, so it's all slow down here. But I've seen the tape on him, and I'm like, okay, this is the guy. You got Jamal Williams there too. So when they finally release him and he starts getting the carries that Kamara would have gotten in that system, that's where I like it. So I avoid Kamara altogether. Now, the last one here, and I was really hoping Sid was on the show for this one, is the Newz, Mr. Tight End himself and Steelers, Mr. Pat Freiermuth. Darnell Washington from Georgia may not be the best wide receiver option for them. But the fact that they took a high draft pick on a very high standing player like that means they are going to use him some way, somehow. And Freiermuth is already in a system where he is getting lack of receptions because they got Deontay Johnson, because they got George Pickens, because of the running back, Najee, and what he can bring to the table of the passing game. Pat comes in when they play very good defenses and they have to go to other options. Now that other option every single game where he sees 5, 7, maybe 8 at most receptions goes down to 3 to 5 on average. And that's not what you want to be playing. Now you're playing the George Pickens games of last year, and you don't want to be doing that in fantasy football. In Dynasty, you will want to keep them. I wouldn't want to drop them. This is kind of the Foster, Moreau, and Darren Waller situation for the last couple of years. You don't want to get rid of it just yet because you don't know just yet, but it's cautious. So if someone comes around and is like, I'll give you a first-round pick this year for Pat Freiermuth and maybe Sterling Shepard. And everyone will hear me say Sterling Shepard all the time because that's my soft – to soften the deal, I'll give you Sterling Shepard. So
he gonna get it. He gonna get attention. But your point about Freiermuth and Darnell Washington. I think the key, Pittsburgh's biggest hole is their O-line. Darnell Washington provides that guy at the end of the line to assist that line in the side. Oh man, yeah. So where he might lack in his receiving ability, and we know he can catch. We saw his one-handed catches at the combine. That ability to stay on the field and block and be that extra to help Pickett get more time and help Najee run for more yards. That's going to be unmatched, So
I saw this pop in here, and how about them Leafs boys? I had to go check the score.
Finally, fucking out of the playoffs.
Oh boy! You know what? I'm so glad that when I lived in that province, I chose an American team that has the Canadian colors.
Smart.
Why are you a Red Wings fan? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Do you not see the Canadian fucking flag every time they're on the ice? Thank you very much. That being said, I'm going to get out of here. We basically did a 2-hour show. We got all the rankings done. We had a nice video tribute of the Jeopardy there, which took me a while to do. I'm very proud of that because it actually worked out. I was sitting there trying to organize all the little snippets that I made too. Like, hey, which one would be funnier? And like together. And then it was like, who won the Super Bowl? The one where I put the McDavid question back to back and then Chris laughing afterwards. I was like, that's perfect. Like that just literally was set up perfectly for me. I have to keep it like that. So
with the music too, that was Oh,
Well
hey,
done.
you know how much I edit and do all that stuff.
Yep.
So when I see somebody else do it, I'm like, oh wow. I'm just
And
like, oh, watch that again. How did he do that? Oh, I love that.
And I appreciate that too, because like, yeah, I'm like, music and this stuff is gonna be so hard to find. And I was so happy that there was a comedy section, and it was like the second or third one I clicked, and I could just hear it all like kind of like this, and I'm like, okay, that's just fun and like funny in the background. So,
Oh yeah.
Sean, tell everybody where they can find you and what you got coming up here.
Yeah, buddy. What is going on, people? It's your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. We will be back with you guys, I believe, next Tuesday. The roundtable will be on, because I know on Tuesday they're going back over the draft, going back to schedule, all that stuff. Wednesday, Washington Football Weekly, where we will talk about our guy being kicked out of here. And then next, I believe Saturday, let's talk college football. Matt, Andrew, you guys are more than welcome to come on. We're kind of getting into the season, starting to talk about some spring games and stuff, stuff, the transfer portal, coaches, where are we going, and diving into all that way too early, Final Four and who top 25 and, who's going number one and all that good stuff. So stay tuned. And as always, nah. Hey. Bye, Dan. Let's go, baby.
Thank you so much for being on here talking about your Commanders, buddy, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Y'all take care.
Great.
Buddy. All right, and Matt, again, my hockey co-host. Thank you again for being on here.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is awesome.
No, dude. Thank you so much for being on here. I was like, I need more people to talk hockey with, and I knew Kyle was going to come on here, and then Chris was iffy because I knew he had work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Alex had some other stuff that he had to do tonight too. He was going up to see his family, and he's like, I would put my phone up and talk to you guys, but I got to go through where all the forest fires are going through right now. And I'm like, please don't do that.
Probably not the best idea. Yeah, commitment, but
if you're live and I literally have to put you in the background and I got to watch you burn alive, kind of thing. Like, I am not going to be okay with that.
I know that's just not good for anybody.
No, like I'd have to block him so I can't even see it. Like, you'd have to literally leave StreamYard for me to not see that. So it'd be bad. But tell everybody where we can find you.
Oh yeah, certainly. Well, Matt Bannon, obviously a resident Hawks fan, super fan, I guess, future champions for, what is it, 24, 25, 26. But we'll talk about that more later. And Andrew, looking a little bit forlorn there for one-time hockey show. You can find us on Facebook under 1252 Sports Chicago, or even YouTube, or however you like to watch and listen to me gloat, as it will be. So it'll be a lot of that. So it's definitely worth it. So definitely join us. Andrew will be there.
Yes, I will. Lots of gloating.
So it'll balance it out.
No, so I know someone eventually will watch this show and be like, Andrew, you would never trade cider for anything. And I'm like, you're right. You're kind of right. It'd be like cider for Bedard.
Yep.
It'd be like, I just don't know at that point.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta breathe.
Well, someone would be like, you are so stupid to even suggest that. I'd be like, yeah, but have you watched cider play some games? Like,
it's good.
It takes 3 players himself.
The worst part about us getting Bedard is that he will in Chicago. So we have no backup in case anything goes wrong. If anybody tries to bully him, we have nobody to come back him up again. God forbid anybody gets injured. That's our season again. So, and I mean, I don't know if you saw, I meant to bring up earlier because it was funny, but it was the first comment somebody got out of him because he was like, oh, I'll just be watching as a fan at it, and being modest as he is. And then they're like, so how are you feeling about going to Chicago? He's like, honestly, I just hope I don't get shot. I'm like, that's fair, but I don't think anybody will be dumb enough to aim at you in that city because we desperately need this. Yeah. So Canada thinks so highly of us.
Oh my God. Someone too was like, he's gonna Eric Lindros the whole thing, and I'm like, no, he's not.
There's no way.
No, I'm like, what's he gonna do? I'm like, Chicago would literally hold him ransom and be like, Connor, there's nothing that another team would offer that we would accept for you. Like,
Yeah, we have nothing but space right now.
Yep.
Except for Seth Jones. Is the only block in space that you could conceivably think of.
Yep.
On and off the ice.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll get him here. We'll get him here.
Me and Matt will talk more about this next week. We're gonna still figure out a time and stuff like that, but we're gonna talk about our teams respectively and how it's just it's the Iser plan on my end, man. It's just the Iser plan.
It's taken some time, but I think it's gonna come into fruition. So
better because I'm only gonna give it a couple more years, and then I'll start tearing him apart like I started tearing Harland apart. So. Thank you for being on here, brother.
Again, thank you so much for having me. This was awesome.
Again, everybody, Matt Bannon, 1252 Sports. I will see you next week, buddy.
Farewell.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get the fuck out of here. I am your host, Andrew Foobz. This has been North Sports Dynasty. We had fucking everybody on. Chris popped on. Kyle was on. Matt was on. Sean was on. Like I said, the other guys couldn't be here. They're busy. Sid is literally wouldn't be off work until like another half an hour, and then he'd be driving. So, but you can see Sid and Chris, Terribly Toxic, I believe on Wednesdays, 7 o'clock Mountain Time. You can catch Alex Restoring the Roar on Tuesdays, and you can also catch Kyle and Chris doing Off the Boards, the hockey show on Thursdays. You can catch me tomorrow night, more than likely, doing the Maple Bucks show. And all of these are subject to change because I don't force these guys all the time to do anything. If they got stuff going on, they, go and do it. Now, if we were like Pat McAfee show and had all those kind of views and sponsorships and stuff like that, it'd be a completely different thing. I'd probably be on their asses a little bit more about stuff, but that's neither here or there. So, but shout out to all the guys doing a great job. If you haven't already checked it out, go check out the Jeopardy video that I made today. Just dropped today. It's absolutely hilarious. If you haven't checked out the link below for our good old sponsor here at ZAGNIF Apparel, Mr. Anthony Handy's very own work, get 15% off on select items by using the code word Foobz 15. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. They got a bunch of different stuff down there. So go check it out. Shout out to everybody in the comments section tonight. Shout out again to all the shows that we got, and shout out to you, the fans. We got a lot of crazy stuff coming down the pipe for the new football season that's going to be coming up. Playoff coverage for basketball and hockey as much as we can. In the off season, we might do a little bit of baseball talk. We'll see what happens. NASCAR is NASCAR. So yeah, whatever you need for your sports and stuff like that, your dynasty rankings will be up on the page pretty damn soon. And anything else you need, just holler at North Sports Dynasty, baby. We got shirts for sale. Holler at us. Get to us. We'll get you get your size and all that kind of stuff and send them your way. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Much love to all the guests that we had on, and much love to you, the fans. Take care now. Bye-bye then, and see you next Friday. Pittsburgh Steelers, number 75.
Who is Mr. Mean Joe Green?
Try me again, motherfucker.
Kelly is correct.
Let's go. Who's Champ Bailey?
That's a double jeopardy right there, ladies and gentlemen. Double jeopardy.
What is a superflex?
Superflex is correct.
Yeah.
Out of kid, Kyle.
Oh.
I will take owners for 500, please.
Wait, I need to get out of here. Fuck.
Holy crap! I have the most passing yards in a Super Bowl. Connor McDavid, that is incorrect.
You son of a bitch.
Chris. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
No, you gotta be kidding. Hit so hard and it's Ed Reed, not Ray Lewis. Are we kidding me here?
Well, I'm fucked.
Alex.
Well, I'm fucked.
That's
Break it down now. 201 points.
you son of a bitch.
All of it. All of it or no balls.
First,
You son of a bitch. Need to wait till the question was done.
You know what? You
What
know
the
what?
fuck is this?
I'm just glad I did the math right and I didn't lose by a point.
Incorrect.
Fuck.
So I'll put you down to.
It's not like you, Mayo. I can't shit all over people and just sleep like a baby at night.
Straight up, like just out of nowhere, left field. Fuck your Bucks. Like I don't get that from Sid every morning. Like,
I hope you do. It wouldn't be NSD if you don't.
very true.
Fair. I'm now finding that I'm getting shit on by both fucking Sid and Ash as a fucking combo lately. It's kind of fucked.
That's what happens.
Bullshit, man.
That's what happens when, and then they add Chris to it, and it's like, oh, I was
Get shit on.
really inappropriate.
Get shit on. That's all I think of every time.
yeah.
Get shit on.
I need to.
Your ass. Your ass.